Hello, Quidabble here on my free-to-play Elhain account, and I was just thinking, and I'm going to make this video go out in the morning, 12 a.m. for me, but you still have enough time if you watch this video to still capitalize on this, but all you need to do, so here's what it is. What I want to say is make sure you check into every single tournament, and you just see how it's going. Generally, I don't think with my level, anything under level 50, I really have a big chance at getting it. But I've been pushing a really big event, tournament, and that was the Dragon Tournament. And I was working on it. I need speed boots of lifesteal and also of speed. The speed set, the lifesteal set, I want speed boots. So I've been pushing this one pretty hard. By little level, I've got 675, and I'm still trying to stay relatively up here. You can see I have a day and 11 hours, and I'm trying to stay up in here and get that extra shard, which is awesome. So in my group, you can see there are some people pushing from below me, and they're challenging me to stay in that top 5. But then I thought, well, we have another tournament going on, and this is kind of a weird tournament. They do once or twice a month where they pick like Spider or Ice Golem. They pick one of the dungeons, and they say, hey, look, you just have to use champions from one location. And I just popped in here and I looked at it, and after almost 2 days straight, nobody's playing this. I don't really think I have a chance while I'm still trying to be in the top 5 of Dragon, but I do see that I'm going to be in the top 5 easily of this one. Now, if I'd have been paying attention, I might have been able to get further advanced. But you can see this guy barely is going to make this third reward just for playing. But he's in first place. He's going to get himself a nice epic book. And in the beginning, in your first 50 levels, this is so important to get books and then save them. But he's also going to get those 2 shards. So you can see he's been pushing, and it's been really good. So I went in and I started doing some battles. And if you look here, it says use only champions in the following factions: Banner Lords, High Elves, the Sacred Order, and Barbarians. And if you're still under level 50, you probably don't have a ton of champions to go across those. But you do have, like for me, since this account happened to be Elhain, I free-to-play chose the starter champion to be Elhain. That means I have my best champion in High Elves. That doesn't always work out that way, but then again, I did push, and one of my second best characters, or tied for second, is War Maiden. So you can kind of see that I've kind of built myself up into this one. And what you want to do is you want to go down here, you click go, it takes you directly to there. And I believe I started here, 2 to 4s, 3 to 4s. I think I got to this level right here. And you can see I've also had a great out the door chance with this champion right here, Apothecary. So I've got 2 great champions. I believe I did beat this. I'll go ahead and start it so we can talk while it's playing. They do take a few minutes, but you can see I've only won 2 or 3 matches. I need an amulet for all my champions, but right now I don't even have an amulet for High Elves, so I can't put one on there. So there's a benefit to playing this. It's not a bad thing. You can see not War Maiden. Man, I can't ever remember her name. I don't use her very often, but she's a great champion for your starter faction crypts. I believe she comes. Anyway, you can see who she is. I think you get her free to play just for beating the very first Karak Castle. If you just beat it, no 3-starring, but you just beat all 7 levels, you get her as a free champion. So you have her, and you can see how this works. And as soon as this one gets done, we'll play through it. And as soon as this one gets done, I'll show you how to easily figure out if you have champions for this. War Priest. That's who it is. War Priest. You can see that everybody's attacking her. She's got some decent armor on her because she is one of the first champions you get. But she will get wiped out. But you can see the rest of the champions can sit back. So this is another trick on when you're going against an affinity color. So this is blue or magic, and spirit or green is always weak to it. So what's going to happen is all the little spiderlings and the main spider, I can never remember her. I think it's Scarif, or I can't remember her name, but it starts with an S. She will attack green. They will always attack green. So if you take a green champion and buff up their defense really, really, really high, you're probably not going to have any problems with that champion last. So a high defense and a high resist with a Warcaster as a healer. Plus I also have Apothecary. He's also a healer. So that character can stay alive for a lot longer. But as you can see, going in there, I'm attacking, having a decent go at it. Red is strong, so my Barbarian War Maiden is also good against this one. She'll put that decreased defense on everybody here in a little bit. You don't always win these, but what you want to do is find a level that you can beat relatively amount of time. And you can see only 3 people in my group of 100 are participating, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. So now I can go in here, beat this up, and kick their butt. Now remember, Apothecary also has an increased defense in dungeons, I think by 21%, but it could be less. You can always use your main champion and increase your HP in all battles by, I think it's 12% or 17%, maybe it's 15%. But you have a champion that can give you a buff with the. You can see right now. Notice how they don't want to attack, even though FTPElhain's my strongest champion. They don't want to attack her. They don't want to attack War Maiden because she's affinity strong. And you see War Priest was level 30. So you can see I just made 8 points for my team. Now I'm up to 24. And I have a chance to go out and go for it. But let's say I pick my next group, and I'm going to take a chance. Now this is what I want you to do. I want you to go over here and I want you to put filter, and I want you to put it in by faction. So usually it comes in by all rank or whatever you chose last time. And you can see that if I pop out this champion, you can see I can put in any champion I want. But this is a demon spawn. I believe this one's an undead. And if you don't use champions from those factions, then what's going to happen is you're not going to get points toward the tournament. So what I like to do is I go through and I find the faction. I sort them by faction. And then the first 4 just happen to be, all the factions are grouped just like they are in your faction crypt. So if you look at your faction crypts, or I should say by your index, it goes in order as if they would be displayed here in your sort, your filter. So you can see Banner Lords are up at the front, and then comes in the High Elves, which I've only got 3 that are. Now if I go through and I put in my include vault, you can see I have some other champions that I could use. So which is fabulous. So all of my champions are going to be sorted by that. So then you get down to Barbarians, that's the last group. So then the next one would be Ogrin. And then that would start the next 3 or 4 factions that are tied into the 4 groups. So later on, if it ever moves to Ogrin, I think it might be Skinwalkers, Undead Horde, and Demon Spawn. I'm probably wrong on that, but you can see that they group them together in 4s, and at the end is Dwarves and the newer tribe. I can't think of it off the top of my head. So what you want to do is you want to go in, go filter by, and you want to do by faction. You can include your vault if you stored some good ones away. And then you can go, okay, well, color affinity is red. So that means my weak characters are going to be blue and my strong characters are going to be green. So what I might want to do in here is say, okay, well, instead of, well, I want to keep these 3 because they're my strongest champions. But instead of, let's say, earlier I pulled out this gentleman. Now I'm going to put in this one. So now I can give it a try. And I have 2 champions that are weak affinity. And I'm pretty sure they're going to waylay into Apothecary right off the bat. I'm probably not going to win this one. but you never know. Again, we're all competing for those commercials. And see, weak affinity. Now, you would think, oh, hey, I'm going to go for Spirit War Priest or for this elf over here. But it doesn't always work that way. And I don't really feel that this one's going to work, but I know if I go one level up, I do have a chance to get, say, the first reward at 100, and I also have a chance to take second place, which gets me a shard. So what I want you to do is go into that tournament, check to see where you're at, and see what's going to happen. I'll let it play through this battle, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to win. Now, War Priest is my War Priest is my healer, and she's strong against red because she's a spirit champion. So you never know. But I can also tell you that if I lose FTPElhain, I don't really have a chance of winning this. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and fail this one out. Leave that battle. I don't get any points for that. Go over here to the Bastion. And you can see in the tournaments, if it updated, I should be around 24 points. So I'm probably going to work to that 75 point and maybe the 200 point, trying to get those artifacts that I need. That I need an amulet for the High Elves for FTPElhain. So, and I need another one for Apothecary. So it's good to always work these. And you can see with no effort, I could have possibly just won one battle. I'm going to guarantee myself to be in the top 5, get a free shard, and that's all I had to do. And I had to pick specific ones from the Banner Lords, High Elves, Sacred Order, and Barbarians. Alrighty, well, get out there, check yours to see how you're doing in yours. And you might have to put in 300 points, but maybe that'll get you in the top 5 or get you some other rewards. And it's always good to play all tournaments or even events to the first reward level. That way you're getting a few of the items to build up a stash for your accessories like rings and amulets. And you're also getting paid to play. So not just doing one thing or saying, hey, I feel like doing Spider today. Well, you can get paid to play Spider today. All right, well, thanks for watching this, and I hope it's helpful. Have a good one.